Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. This episode had a different feel to it. And we all know why. I felt the scenes between Olivia, Ned, and Leo was absolutely pointless. I truly did. I'll give Olivia credit where credit's due, because not only was she standing up for Carly, because they both saw, Carly and Olivia both saw Nina talking to Sonny, and before it looked like Carly was about to rip her hair out, Olivia kind of pulled to the side, like, what are you doing? Like, did you not understand the whole, you need to kind of keep your distance and stuff like that? And of course, Nina was all like, oh, you need to sit there and worry about your own marriage. I was like, sweetheart, you need to worry about your own life at this point. Like, seriously. But yeah, when she was sitting there talking to when she was talking to Ned, after the doctor came to get Leo, she apologized for how she was acting, prior to that, and just not wanting to sit there and listen to the facts or even be open to the idea, just being really nasty, hostile, and, a bitch. And, part of me was like, you know what, this is growth, this is character development. People make mistakes and they react in the moment, and a lot of the anger wasn't at Ned. It was pretty much the fear that came from, what Leo may be dealing with and how she may be able to, just as a mother, So I understood that part. And so when she apologized, I was like, okay, that's cool, because no one's perfect and everyone makes mistakes. Not gonna lie, there was a small part of me that was like, part of me wanted to sit there and be like, you can take your apology and, but after this episode, and maybe I may feel, I say this now, and then later on down the line, when Olivia pulls something very similar to this, I'm gonna be like, but because of everything that happened in this episode, just about life and just this whole episode in general, I'm just going to kind of just let it go and be like, you know what, Olivia, fine. After watching Brando and Sasha did with Liam and just how short of a life he had, it's one of those things where it's like it's kind of hard to keep a grudge. So for this time, Olivia, I'm just going to let it go. Drew got to spend some time with, about to call her Scout. Emily, I am not calling her that name, because that name is the name of a dog that Danny wanted to have and decided to name her his baby sister Scout, and I'm not doing it. I'm going to call her Emily because, yeah, that's what I'm going to call her. But anyway, he's spending time with her, and it's kind of awkward throughout most of it. Except for at the end, when she finds the star that was going to be on top of the little Christmas tree, which I don't understand why is he decorating that thing for, and they have a giant Christmas tree and in the living room. I don't understand why he was doing that for. Maybe it was supposed to be some sort of project to do with his daughter, but towards the very end, she came around, so that's cool. Also, Curtis, asked for his help as far as looking into Marshall. Now, the only thing that Curtis was actually doing was just sorting through his feelings with Portia about Marshall, because part of his anger, or a part of his unwillingness to like kind of let him get close, is for the fact that Marshall's been very secretive about what he's been doing. Um, so he doesn't trust him, and I don't blame him on that front. You don't just sit there and walk back into somebody's life 20, 30 something years later on and be like, hey, listen, I was gone for a while, and I can't really get into why, but think I can have a place in your life? No. I don't know what kind of danger, trouble, or anything like that you're bringing with you, and I'm supposed to just sit there and just be like, nah, that's cool. So I get that. But the other part of it is simply because he doesn't want to get hurt again. I mean, this guy just disappeared. His dad just disappeared without saying a word. And him mourning his dad or thinking his dad is dead for so long and having him come back is like, you serious? Like, I get that part. Anyway, all Portia was doing was being a sounding board. Now, Stella knows a lot more. Even I think she even knows why Marshall left. She knew that he pretended to be dead for reasons that we still don't know yet. We know that Stella's sister also knew. Stella's sister knew and told Stella to go along with the plan, and they did. So that was mostly the discovery, as far as as far as their scene goes. That's the important part that I got out of it. Also, it seemed like they may be a little I don't know. I don't want to sit there and say like chemistry, but it may be a little bit feelings towards Stella as far as Marshall is concerned. It seemed like he was kind of flirting with her, like underliningly or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe that'll be a thing. I mean, it'll be nice to actually have Stella have a man at this point, so this way she won't be constantly meddling in her family's lives. Just an idea. Have a hobby, a man, something. So I guess we'll wait and see. Now, it was a little kind of funny after Olivia took, Nina to the side, and, Sonny looked at Carly, and Sonny was like, we're just talking, like why are you saying it so fast? Like, you guilty about something? Like, what's going on? You got something off you want to get off your chest, bro? No? You still just gonna... Okay. I mean, I get it. He can't sit there and tell her while we're in the hospital, but I'm like, just the way he said it so fast, like, we were just talking. Carly was like, you know what? I'm not even, like... We'll deal with that, like, later. Right now, we're here for Brandon and Sasha. Liz was there to do what? I don't know, but she was there talking to Britt about how life isn't fair because of Liam and Peter, and, I couldn't agree more. That's pretty much all I'm going to say about that. Brandon and Sasha. So, this is probably the most... how do I put it? This is the best storyline for them, but also the most, like, heart-wrenching one at the same time. And, I was not there reading the comments and stuff like that, and, I know, one person, I know it wasn't just one person, but I know it's, like, probably a lot of people are, kind of looking at this situation like, why did it have to be so sad with this whole, like, why couldn't it be more a happier ending for Brandon and Sasha, particularly Sasha, because I don't know if she already like gave birth or is she still pregnant. I'm not too sure, but the point is, I think she's a new mother at this point. The point is to take on such a role where you have to pretend to grieve for your child, but also go home at the end of the day and be with your child. It's they sometimes people sit there and say like certain scenes or whatever is just very hard to do, or they just turn it down, they just turn down the whole role in general. And I guess they're just, I guess some people, it's not, they're looking at this like, she's a new mother and stuff like that. Why would you give her such an emotionally draining and heart-wrenching story? And I can understand where they're coming from. But I also kind of look at this like, this might actually been one of the best stories that they've done for her besides the whole, drug story. Let's be honest. There was a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, that were particularly slamming Willow and Sasha, like, in the fandom community and, whatever. Like, they just did not like these two characters at all. And I didn't think they were that bad, but, like, people were just like, yo, they gotta go. Like, we do not like these characters. They gotta be gone ASAP. My point is that while it may be very sad as far as this whole storyline goes, it actually makes me feel something for these characters. I know some people don't, but it makes me actually feel something for these characters, and it makes me more invested in Sasha and Brando. I mean, I've said this yesterday, I'm pretty sure I said this the day before. Up until this point, I really didn't care about Brando and Sasha. I mean, it was so bad that I felt like they brung in Gladys just to kind of, as she put it, spice things up. Because I didn't really care about those two. And I felt like a lot of people did not care about those two. They might have cared about them individually when they were doing their own things, but the minute they got together, it was just like, it's just like, whatever. Like, why? Can we just, like, get to another character? So yeah, it makes me feel something. Here's the thing. I'd rather feel sad about particular scenes. It makes me feel something than feel bored. I really don't like feeling bored at all. And I didn't feel like that in this episode. But this episode was, my goodness, this was sad. This was really, really sad. I remember when, not Finn, but the other guy, who was Kiki's father. There was one point where I think his son passed away. And I remember that scene being particularly sad. Like, up until that point, I was kind of like, whatever. But then, like, I started thinking about it, and it was like, wow, this is really sad. But just watching them say goodbye to their son was, it was sad. It was sad. I knew it was coming, and I felt like this for a while, so like I felt like I was more emotionally prepared to handle the scene. I was emotionally prepared to handle the scene until they show up Mike. And then let's put it this way, this video was supposed to come out like 20 minutes earlier than this, but like I literally just had to kind of just play some video games, just do something else, because if I would have started recording, I'm not tearing up one, like, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. And that was just a lot. Hell, honestly, to tell you the truth, I kind of stood there after a while, like, watching it. It was like, I don't know if I can actually do this today. Like, I don't know if I can actually do this review. Like, there was a good part of me that just felt like putting a post like, yo, I can't do it. But, yeah, it was, I don't even have words for it at this point. Anyway, he came, and, I'm not doing it. So yeah, he came, and, he took Liam in his arms, and they went to, heaven, and it was just a very emotional scene. I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not, no. But yeah, it was a very emotional scene. And, Brando and Sasha came out, and, Sasha was crying, and you had pretty much everyone just standing there. Which, I gotta be honest, was a little kind of awkward. Like, no one knew what to say. They didn't want to just rush up to them. They kind of just, like, stood there, and it was like, what do you do? Like, it just seemed like the most awkward but also saddest part, because it's like no one could really do anything. It's not like somebody's going to just rush up and start hugging them. They just kind of all just, like, sat there with that, Yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah. Weird. I felt like some other stuff happened in this episode, but I'm gonna be honest. Compared to that scene, it almost seems like it pales in comparison. Like, I know, like, as a reviewer, whatever, I'm supposed to sit there and talk about all the scenes, but like that one was just so. I wouldn't sit there and say emotionally draining, but it was just a lot, and I know that I felt like I forgot some other stuff, but like, yeah. I feel like that's pretty much about it. I'm just gonna watch a comedy after this. I'm just gonna watch a comedy after this. What else is not there thinking? Like, looking at all three of the shows that I watched today. Part of me was not there thinking, was like, maybe I should have watched Bold and the Beautiful last, because it was just so. Like, don't get me wrong, I could sit there and watch This Is Us and bawl my eyes out and everything like that. Like, I've never watched something I felt like it was just too much. But watching something and talking about it, it's not like I can't do it. But the point is, it was just a lot. And I was just like, I did not feel like getting on here and start tearing up and crying and everything like that. Because, these things are supposed to be fun and entertaining. But, sometimes you have scenes like that A, just hits too close to home, and B, it's just an emotional scene in general. So, apologies if it came out a little bit later than I wanted it to, but, yeah. Anyway, with that being said, I think that's about it. If I forgot anything, please let me know in the comment section below. Also, I'm probably going to sit there and watch Brock TV's, review on this, because I'm really curious about what his thoughts on it was, because... Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I hope everyone has a great, safe, and amazing weekend. Be safe. At this point, be safe, everyone. Thank you for watching. I feel like I just can't talk anymore, so, thanks for watching. Be safe. God, I am still not redoing this again. I'm just not doing it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Not redoing this again. Just not.